Yeah, no, well, in journalism, it's definitely true. In the old days, I mean, I was a dirty word. You would never refer to yourself in the story. And because of the changes in journalism and blogging and the rise of memoir and all that, people are much more comfortable about talking about their personal life in all kinds of ways, including their religious surge.
But I think maybe this fear of coming out and saying, I am a believer, or I am Catholic, or I am Episcopalian, or whatever, I am Buddhist. Maybe it's because we live in the Bay Area in particular. You know, we are very aware of political sensitivities. And, you know, it's almost like bringing up politics at a dinner party. It's something that you're kind of ingrained or taught. Maybe it's a subject that you don't want to broach. Maybe there's a sense of it's too sensitive of a topic. So you say, going back to what Dawn said at the beginning, you say, I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. And that kind of gets you out of it. I know what you mean. Mm-hmm. And that gets you away from any of the dogma. It personalizes it. It sanctions it in a way.
Well, I mean, it's like, I like the philosophy of Jesus Christ. I like the philosophy of Buddha. Well, you know, these things aren't being portrayed in the religions. Even in Buddhism, there's hierarchical, you know, conflict among the leaders. So it's I just see it as absurd. It's just absurd that I don't see the philosophy being.
You mean the hypocrisy of what the religion?
Yeah, it's it's like even if I hate to say middle America pro-lifers or whatever, but they're staunch that we're going to take control of these women's bodies, but then in the end they won't adopt these kids and they won't go a step further. They just want to push their values on other people, and then when people of like lower income or whatever can't,
I actually am glad you raised that. Really glad you raised that issue, because it's always been a question for me, which I'll put it in this kind of hypothetical. Would the world be a better place without religion at all if human beings decided to live according to, let's say, we came up with a principle, that was agreeable and humanist and democratic and egalitarian, fair, at least on principle, a set of laws? Would the world be a better place without religion, without the conflict between religion, without the confusion of religion? Or is religion actually vital to how we make the world a better place? Is religion a vital part of how we build community? In other words, we can't do without it. It's necessary.
Well, I mean, historically, up till today, we got jacked by religious wars. So it's...
Well, I think you have to be very. What do you mean when you say religion?
What do you mean by religion?
Yeah, you have to define
These
it.
people are too smart for that. What is really making me define my terms? Okay, let's say I mean religion. I will define religion as the major religions, and let's let in the smaller of the major religions too. And not spirituality writ large, not just a general philosophy, but the real belief systems, which, by the way, obviously disagree with each other, right? Buddhism does not agree with Christianity, does not agree with Judaism, does not. They are different.
And I think if you look at the common sort of truth that goes through all religions, love your neighbor, compassion, service to others. Some kind of spiritual practice to be less self-centered, right, and to be more connected to your fellow human being, and that's religion at its finest. I mean, that's what religion should be. So that's why it's kind of an impossible question to answer. I mean, if that's what you mean by religion, religion is a better place, and
I'll include in it, just to make it simple, that there is a divine being, or there are divine beings, that there is a divinity of some kind. There is an afterlife.
Well, actually, I vote for religion, so I wouldn't know. Okay,
Well, I think you can find, it's where you find morality and your guiding compass. And for a lot of people, they find it through their religion, through their faith. But people can, agnostics can be, and atheists can be highly moral as well. So, I think that, as Dawn said, faith is intended to be really good, and it's just been co-opted by people throughout the ages who make it otherwise. But I think it can be one of the great assets in our lives, and in the global picture. But you can't be moral without being religious.
I actually think one of the problems in the history of certain religious traditions is that they haven't taken their divine being seriously enough. I think it's Miroslav Volf who talks about the idea of justice, and that not taking action is something that flows from a belief that there actually is a God who can completely see that justice is restored. Because, you know, you think about a person who's capable of ending 1,000 people's lives, like, how can you possibly make that right in a way that doesn't create, like, it would take someone greater than a human being, I think, to be able to actually restore things to rightness. And I think where a lot of conflicts happen is where we take things into our own hands. And people say, on the one hand, supposedly there is this higher power, this divine being, but he or she must not be powerful enough to actually fix this problem, because I need to step in and make things right.
I think saying you can't be moral without being religious is absurd. I was blown away by that.
I don't think anybody said that. You can't be. You can be.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Jeez. I was going to say.
That was a close one, folks.
Yeah. Fisticuffs were
Oh,
coming.
my God. It's just getting exciting. Oh. Sorry. I said you can be.
Oh, yes.
Excited.
I agree.
It's interesting, though, how it's often said when something bad is done in the name of religion, it's, quote, in the name of religion. Like, that's not really religion. But when good things are done, they never say, oh, that's, like Mother Teresa does this, just in the name of religion. Right. So people have this idea that religion, I mean, some people have the idea, maybe not around here, but religion good, right? They'll think religion is good. So when, wars are fought, or, people fly jetliners into skyscrapers, that's done in the name of religion. But it's not so simple. I mean, good things and bad things are done, are inspired by religion. But we tend to want to just say, use in the name of when it's terrorist or something.
Right. It's a good point. Of course, it's us. It comes back to us, not really religion. Our tendency to do bad things or good things is there. For instance, the 20th century had at least one giant empire that was a-religious, and it wasn't a very pleasant place to be. But I wanted to look out at here and see this interesting, fascinating group of people who came out to hear this great group today, at this time of day, and ask if you have any questions for these four.